vortex. I just had a mini meltdown. You ever had a mini meltdown? Well, you know what a mini meltdown is if you've had an actual meltdown. What's funny to me is that a mini meltdown, it's all what's the word? Like, when you're, like, my standards of, like, what a meltdown is are different than somebody else's. What does that mean? There's a word for that. I don't remember what it is. Like, my metric system is a lot different than most people. Normal people, like, a mini meltdown to me would be like a major meltdown to somebody else. So basically what happened was I couldn't find something that I was looking for. And what happens every single time I can't find something that I'm looking for is I start thinking that everybody's out to get me. And this is so much of a reality that people literally sneak into my house just to steal things, like my box of hats, okay? I'll lose random stuff. Like if I lose a CD or something, I think that somebody has some sort of personal vendetta against me, and they literally broke into my car also they could take a Tupac compact disc, okay? Now bear in mind that nobody listens to CDs anymore, except for us losers that are still stuck in the 90s. But yeah, that's a fine example of my delusional thinking, okay? Now, it doesn't matter how many times this has happened, and it doesn't matter that I know it's a delusion. I still react the same way. And I think that the reason why I react the same way is because of whatever happened to me in the very beginning of my life. Because that's always something that I think about every single time that I lose my shit. So that's why I'm so grateful to be schizophrenic, because it brings me closer to God. Because every time that, like, I have what seems to be like a breakdown or whatever, it's like I'm just always on my knees. And I know that God knows whatever it was that happened to me that's made me this way. And because I know that He knows, it doesn't bother me as much. It's a good thing. It really is a good thing. But people have been trained to think that it's bad. You know, like if you're uncomfortable or if you're like having a difficult time. Because, like, you know, a lot of people have a difficult time for reasons that they don't even understand. I'm so lucky that I understand why I have a hard time. I'm so lucky to know that I can turn to the Father, and that it doesn't matter to me if so many people are skeptical about that and are like, oh, well, that's not even real. You can't prove that exists. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, not beating heart proves that He exists. You don't have to understand that, you know? It's not for us to understand. And this is the common misconception about God. And all of this stuff that you could use to, like, disprove God just proves that He is real. You know? Like, People that think that God is nowhere near as good as people think he is, all because he allows bad things to happen in the world. I know that that's hard stuff, by the way. It's really difficult to maintain faith when you know that, like, bad things are happening all the time. And I mean, if you're like just naturally secular, if you're naturally like in the victim mentality and you see yourself as a victim and you see other people as victims, like, there's a huge difference between like actual acknowledgement of somebody being a victim versus having a victim mentality. Okay? People that have a victim mentality tend to not believe in God. And I really pity them. Because the devil has done a number. And I know that, you know, he did a number on me too. And when I was stealing shit from my friends and my family, I rationalized it the entire time. Knowing that it was wrong. Knowing that it was like immoral. So I feel like if a God person such as myself can rationalize doing something like stealing, you know, all because they're under the influence of booze. And I wasn't drunk every single time that I stole some shit, okay? But I think that that kind of spirit definitely had a negative impact on me that allowed me to justify really bad behavior. You know? I mean, why do you think so many people have sex with random people when they get drunk? I mean, I know I definitely did. And y'all know my feelings on sex. So if you do stuff that allows you to make worse and worse decisions, but you keep trying to justify that thing that's enabling you to be a total shithead that acts like a sociopath, okay? It's interesting because the one time that I got yelled at in my psychology class, there wasn't just one time I've been yelled at, especially not in class, but in this particular psychology class, I got yelled at by my teacher and by all the students in that classroom because I said that I wanted to know what it was like to be a sociopath. And if they had asked for the context of this statement that I made, oh my God, do you hear that? I need to stop the video.